where they were also awarded, and he's doing a great job. Why did you want us to start with this?
Yeah, fantastic credit to Mills Media. Yeah, so you see, our culture, technology is playing a vital role to our culture, and then we see that now looking at the way even our education system is, looking at the way our media spaces, our culture is being taken away gradually.
Oh, really?
Being replaced with Western education. The reason here is that go on YouTube. How many cartoons do you see in Ghana culture? And these are what the kids are always watching every day. So if we have projects like this, then it needs to be recommended. We need to really see how best that we can use technology to promote our culture. Because whilst we had this topic at hand, I'm that very good in research. I can go into behind the internet to still find information, right? And then I have seen that there's scanty information about our culture on the internet. What is it? That means that gradually a time comes whereby if you are not lucky, there will be a generation whereby our culture, we may not be able to even, write them or document them. So having this, I think it's a great thing that we can use some visuals to be able to talk about our culture. So what you just watched was a visual about the Asante and everything, right? So we have we have that already there. So you could really see that it was quite a very good animation whereby you could see the Yasantwa, when it's a story we've heard, but just watching it in this way, I can tell a story about it. I can speak to my kids, students about it, and I think it's something that we should all
and then it's like even the language and everything.
The language and everything. That is what we're talking about.
Yeah, because you don't see a lot of Ga, Dagbani, like Gadangme, everything on the internet. Most of it, perhaps you're watching a telenovela and then they translate it, they dub voices over it, but our cartoons, what shapes people, our kids. So it's technology. What role is technology playing when it comes in terms of our customs and practices?
All right, thank you very much. So if you're looking at, let's look at the impact, positive impact. So we are looking at culture, the way of people, their beliefs, their customs and everything. And technology is helping in positive way. And the positive impact is helping in education now. We can now have a way of education, not kind of those times that we have to go somewhere under a tree to study. Now we can do education through Zoom platforms. We can have the opportunity to learn abroad. We can have the opportunity to see a lot of things. So that a way technology is helping in terms of the education side. And then through technology, we are able to learn easily, able to research easily about other cultures. Through technology, we are able to read and also understand other cultures. That is how it's supposed to be. But just a shift of it, the technology, people are now adapting the Western education, the Western life. Because look at it, how many pages, how many platforms are on our social waves that talks about our culture. I'm talking about the indigenous culture of the Voltarians, the Northerners, the Ashantis, all parts. How many platforms are speaking about this? Do you remember that on Dami, Ludu? Do you understand? Do we understand all these things? So I believe that technology is playing a very vital role. And the reason why this is a key for us to look into is that today, everything we do is technology. We are on this platform more than anywhere. So if there is a way to talk about culture, then I believe that one of the areas is to look is to what our mobile phones, our social media, there's technology. So technology can play a vital role. But as it stands now, I'm saying that I would say that if I look at the negative impact, it's outweighing the positive impact.
Yeah.
Right. Why? Because our culture is being taken off. Today, people don't even know when they celebrate their festival in their hometown, what that festival is to do. They don't even have materials about it. We don't have documented African culture library that is quite accessible to the people. Unless I go to the library, physical library, and then culture is not becoming interesting for the normal youth, the normal generation. Go to platforms like North Korea, China, where their culture is still what they lived by it. It's because whilst technology was coming into play, they fixed in their culture. So you still go to China, is to go to India and other platforms where they use their indigenous languages, indigenous art, indigenous belief to do those arts, those platforms. How many platforms are there promoting Ghanaian culture?
But I see a number of content creators trying to do that. You know, they went during festival times, they go to the various places and bring us footage from there, try to make it as natural as possible.
Exactly.
Perhaps it's a step in the right direction.
Yes.
You don't feel it's enough?
Yeah. They are doing it, but it's not enough. Why? Because they don't have attention. Look at those. I was trying to browse through some of the Ghanaian cultural pages. Their views are low.
But somebody like Wodimaya, for instance.
Wodimaya focus on Africa. You understand? So Wodimaya is one person we give credit to, trying to promote Ghana, Africa, the black culture very well. Apart from him, at other platforms, the point here is that we are not giving much attention to our culture. Look at now how many of us fancy our dance moves. How many of our dance moves are trend? But now I can mention a lot of dance moves that are trending. Current one, you know what happens in the.
We have seen excellent. Some people dance with them, Soweto and all that. They do some.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna.
So that's what it is. So if you look at here, we have some of the technology impact. So we are looking at communication and social media. So these smartphones now, we are able to communicate very well. WhatsApp and all these things. So communication and social media technology is really helping in that aspect to promote culture. Education, now technology has improved access to education through online learning platform, as we said earlier on. So now the way that we get we go for schooling or we get education has now changed. You know, we're now introducing technology. That's a good thing there. Economic opportunities now. Through technology, we can have a lot of opportunities around in culture too. So that is, we have the tech industry, particularly in areas like the fintech.
With this economic opportunities, for instance, I realize the landscape has changed when it comes to searching for jobs. Because previously, if you are here in Ghana, if you want to work abroad, you may have to actually go there to work. But now we have the remote and the freelancing.
We have remote, we have freelancing.
That's a positive.
We have gigs that that we can actually also pick up, right? So that's it. Then we have culture preservation and promotion, right? So when we are able to utilize these digital platforms where we can preserve our culture, we can have a documented culture practices, we can have a very written one, video one, then it can serve us. And now we've seen that people are well abreast with the social media, well abreast with these apps, so we can be able to infuse them into apps. So if you look at the video we played by Mills Media, they did an app at Santua. They did an app on Play Store, knowing that an app is something that people really use today. So that's how they can promote the culture of the Ashanti. They were actually portraying how the Ashanti kingdom had their freedom through that side. Then we also have healthcare access, right? So now we are seeing that technology is also playing a very vital role, the youth engagement, urbanization. So all these are some of the impacts that we can actually see today around.
But you know, with the advent of COVID-19, when COVID came, when it came to our work culture, the Ghanaian work culture, you know, everybody, you go to your farm, you go to work from 9 to 5, that kind of thing. But because of COVID, we introduced something nice where you work from home, we work remotely. But ever since we eradicated COVID, we have come back to working. So I just want to know.
Well, it took us to a different level. I think we were not ready for it. We didn't have much systems. So we introduced that. Others too held on to that for some time and then went back to their normal way. You see, the normal of doing things is difficult to change it. It's a matter of time.
But it makes it easier.
It makes it easier, but then again, there were other negative sides to some of the businesses. So we're talking about not being effective, you know, when people are there because of the way we are trained. So when we are on our own, we need to be supervised. Also, there is an organization where some people just logged in that they are the workplace, but hey, they are somewhere doing their own personal things. So then if that's the case, come to the office
and then we can see you actually doing
right. So if you look at the way of things, we're looking at culture and technology, the way that we do things against the old ways we used to do things and the new ways we used to do things. So if you look at the old ways of farming, now we are having what we call the agri-tech, where technology has come into farming, where technology can depict to know that, okay, this land could be good for that crop. This time you are going to plant that will not yield you much product. You have to wait for this time.
And then the weather apps as well shows you how it's going to be.
So you don't have to be behind your radio, your TV to watch.
Well, no, but still watch the weather. Watch the weather on GBC.
So you need to, because ours are credible.
Yeah, exactly.
The apps ones, some may not be credible.
Even in aquaculture, when it comes to fishing as well, it helps people.
Exactly. So we've seen how technology has come to change the way that we do our culture, and that is the same way that I believe that the chiefs, because when you're looking at culture, it's morally binded within the chieftaincy, the chiefs, and the community. We need to start thinking about how we can use technology to promote our culture, our various festivals, Hagbechuchu, the rest. We should be able to think around how we can use technology to really do it. Can we have the app for our community? Can we have the Hagbechuchu app where it talks about why Hagbechuchu, and then it gives you a lot of things. So students can do research about that. We can learn about that, because see, today AI is coming. And what is AI? AI, we do train models. Models are being trained. Which people are training the models? Ghanaians, we don't train models here. The models are being trained by Indians, foreign countries. So do you think they will train a model to fit into your culture? No. So when you ask AI about your Ghanaian culture, it just go on internet and see the blog post that has been posted and they bring it to you. So if you have such platforms like this, you understand, we can tell a right story about a particular culture.
Because even with these AIs, they tell you at the bottom that like sometimes they may be inaccurate.
Inaccurate, so because they don't know, because nobody trains them on them. So if we are investing in the AI system to train such culture, that will be fine. Or better still, we can also have an investment within these our cultural systems, whereby we introduce technology very well. See, we are just talking about it, but really and truly, we are not using even 10% of technology in our culture.
You think like 1%, 5%?
Oh, I don't have the statistics, but it is not enough.
It's not enough.
You understand? So what we are saying is that we need to really think about technology in our culture. So the community, we need to have a system, a website, a platform where everything, we go to that old man that knew the story very well, ask him that, when you're talking about this, what is it? How does it happen? Because right now there's a lot of the kids, we have a lot of misunderstanding, misconceptions about most of the culture. We see some of them being evil. We see some of them being, we have so many kind of ideas, but those are cultures. Those are what we are buying with, and we need to really look into that. So we are also looking into the Ministry of Culture should also start empowering this, that we have that going. So we have platforms like, see, GhanaCartoons.com. So they actually telling, they want to signal or send these cultural things. They know kids love cartoons. So they are using our culture to create cartoons. So you will not see those Tom and Jerry that they were depicting Western culture, Western belief, Western ideas, but these are our local ones. They may not look good, but with time and with good investment,
it's a step in the right direction.
With good investment, we can actually do that. So we have that there, and we have our guys here. These they are also very, very well into using African, so you see like black cartoons trying to do kind of things that our kids may love, look at that.
I remember one of the reasons why Marvel's Black Panther became so a global phenomenon was the fact that it was a black superhero. Exactly. And we don't have a lot of that.
We don't have a lot of that. Always we see Captain America, we see Captain India.
Thor and all that.
And all those
things. Did they just say Captain India?
Maybe they have it there. What called Bollywood.
Anyway, what else how else has technology impacted our culture?
Well, so we're looking at that. So yeah, we have this. That's it. So what the video we showed was Asantua. So they have it. It's an 3D animation that talks about the queen. What was she a queen? Yeah. So Asantua, so Asante Kingdom.
You need to rewatch the animation and then
Yeah, I need to. Well, myself, I need to. So they have a lot of those stories around this. Right. Then we have here. This is our Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative. So what we are saying here is that if you come here, there are a lot of projects that they are doing. How many of us goes to these platforms and look at some of the culture projects that we have there? We don't really pay attention to these things. So we really need to have, we really need to be doing this, look into these things. Then we have this one too. So we have Ghana Farm. It's like a blog post that really talks about Ghana culture and a lot of things. So here you see that art and culture. So you look at this. We are in our country, but myself standing here, I cannot mention most of these things. I don't know.
Oh, are they not artifacts?
But they have names.
They have names. Okay, unique names.
They have unique names,
yes,
and they have why are they like this? Because see, when the kids are watching movie, you see, when they are doing movie, they do the bad person to look in these things, and the good person will look in something nicer. And these are our culture. So you see, sometimes when you are watching those movies, you see if you are talking about those evil side, they will be in something.
So you mean technology is impacting our entertainment landscape, how we do our movies, our films, and everything?
Exactly. So we can. So if you have here fashion, crafts, works, fine art, music, everything. So you can have a chance, pass by this platform, GhanaFarm.com, and you can actually be guided and you see what actually has happened within there. So we can have shops, farms, and other things on this platform. Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to do?
So that's basically all.
That's basically okay. So what does the future look like in terms of, we've talked about the challenges and the negative impact, but if you're moving forward and want to get to a place where technology really has a positive impact on us, what's your take on that?
I think this should be a national dialogue where it should be national inclusion, where people should know that our culture is being taken away by Western lifestyle. And because of this implementation of these social media that are not developed by us, they always create them. Even if you look at CAS syllables and everything, is Western life. So we need to start thinking about the way our people lived and the way we can do things, use technology to rather promote it, improve upon it. That's why I was just making a humble appeal that all the things, all the festivals, other things that we celebrate, if you can have an app for them, if you can have a site for them, whereby the true story is being told, why it is so, then people can read, research around it, and then we can make references in the future. Because right now, if you ask AI, try it, go to ChatGPT, go to DeepSeek, and ask about your culture, your festival, whatever you celebrate, you see that the information you may receive may be scanty or inaccurate. It is not their fault because nobody is training the data in that culture way. You understand? But this is the time we have a lot of youth that have done IT, they are unemployed and they are home. And these are some of the things that we can refine-tune things like this and then get them. People should be training these models. We should get our culture hit on the internet, so that any day, any time, we can do research, we can reference it. Because if not, we are gradually losing most of our culture. Now look into the houses. How many times, if it's not, the schools normally do culture day. That's when you see even them wearing these culture things, but there's nothing to show, nothing to talk about in our culture. So that's what we can actually look into as a country.
The outlook is bright. We need to harness it, otherwise it's going to affect us quite negatively. Thank you so much, David, for taking us through that. And that's our conversation on the impact of technology on our culture. There's a lot more coming up. We're celebrating our Independence Day. We're 68 today. Kudos to all of us. We'll be right back after just a minute.
This day will never be forgotten, the 6th of March 1957, when the Gold Coast successfully get your independence officially. Ghana is the name. Ghana, we wish to proclaim, we will be jolly, merry and gay, the 6th of March, Independence Day. Dr. Nkrumah went out his way to make the Gold Coast what it is today. He endeavored continually to bring us freedom and liberty.
This is the day 5 billion Ghanaians will go gay. Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip will be here that special day. all day and put on Kente Fine. On that Thursday, 12th November 1959. May God bless this fine Thursday, when all Ghana will. We will God bless this fine Thursday, when all Ghana will go gay. Miss Elizabeth, we love you. Akwaba wa wa too. 7 long years we waited since coronation to Canada, and then Nigeria she brought jubilation. Now here a drum is thumping on the mighty phantom from the Queen has come at last to Ghana from United Kingdom. May God bless this fine Thursday, when all Ghana will go gay. Miss Elizabeth, we love you. Akwaba wa wa too. With one accord, we wish you welcome to Ghana. The people are rejoicing from Maxim to Bolgatanga, from a leader Dr. Nkrumah to the lowest in the land. We all join this song of love, we know you'll understand. May God bless this fine Thursday, when all Ghana will go gay. Miss Elizabeth, we love you. Akwaba wa wa too. This is the day 5 million Ghanaians will go gay. Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip will be here. That's